The AHEPA Voice District 6 podcast, brought to you by Tsougranis Media, in collaboration with BronxNet. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of Tsougranis Media, AHEPA, BronxNet, the program sponsors, or underwriters.
Hello, this is Gregory Tsougranis. I am the Marshal for District 6 of AHEPA, the American Hellenic Educational Progressive Association. Now, when this organization was started back in 1922, the Marshal's role was to basically knock on everyone's door and to bring people out to come to our meetings so that we as a community can be organized. We're taking it to the next level. A rolling stone, as they say, gathers no moss. So now we are going to start our podcast. And hopefully we could do this on a bi-monthly way.
Definitely, yeah.
And our very first guest is the governor of District 6 for the American Hellenic Education Progressive Association. So do you want to introduce yourself quickly, Gus?
My name is Gus Constantine. I am the district governor of District 6. Basically, I have all of New York State, from Montauk Point all the way to Buffalo. We have 27 chapters, and this is my first year as district governor, and we have an election coming up in June. I am running for re-election again.
Okay, great. So I know you've done a lot for the community. All right, so the first thing I want to do is to set our goals for the podcast.
Okay.
All right, I want to introduce AHEPA to Greeks and non-Greeks. A lot of times people know about, let's say, the Knights of Columbus. It's very well known. But there's an organization out there where Greeks were organized back in 1922. I'm going to play a short video about it. We'll talk more about that. But part of the goal is to introduce AHEPA to Greeks so they are aware of what we are doing now, and also non-Greeks, because we do a lot of philanthropy works for non-Greeks as well. The next thing I want to do as a goal, I want to communicate to our members about upcoming events and give them a platform so that they can express themselves and increase the activity in their events. I also want to meet our deep and talented AHEPA family, which is also why you're here today, so we're going to learn more about you. I'm amazed by the fact that every time I speak to people who give to the community through AHEPA, not only are they giving to AHEPA, but they're doing amazing things. All right, and the other thing I also wanted to keep in mind is I want us to advertise our businesses, our organizations. All right, so now that social media is very, very important, I hope to work with other podcasters and all of our chapters statewide and our international organization as well for us to do positive and effective things. I'm going to say once more, and then I'm going to turn the mic over to you. I believe our community is only as strong as its ability to organize. We've done well in the past, but we could do a lot better going forward in the future because there's always higher achievements to achieve. So, Gus, I'm amazed by the fact that not only are you the governor, you've done amazing things, but you also are an author. But before we go into that, I do want to play a little history. We have a 1-minute history of AHEPA, which is the American Hellenic Educational Progressive Association for Greeks and non-Greeks, to become more familiar with the organization.
For we're a nation of community, regional and other organizations, all of them varied, voluntary, and unique. The order of AHEPA.
The American Hellenic Educational Progressive Association
was a time when we could not build,
when they were taking away our right.
We're not going to go away.
Speak to your doctor or local AHEPA chapter.
And these service dogs are actually trained rescue dogs. We're saving one life to save another.
Okay, so I stop it over here at the website because there is a national level, international level, and a district level.
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm going to turn the mic over to you guys. First of all, we heard something very basic about AHEPA. Tell us something about you. And I definitely want to hear more about your books that you've written.
Okay, I'm a retired tractor-trailer driver for United Parcel Service. And in my retirement, in 2015, I decided it's important, imperative that I do something for my heritage. I spent so much time working, I work nights, but I always had a love for writing. So I decided to write a book called Escaping Cyprus. It's about the 1974 illegal invasion of Cyprus by Turkey. It's 1974, we're going on 26 years. 52 years. So, the book is historical fiction based on true accounts. The villages were taken over, the atrocities that were committed, and people flocked to America. There were kids that were orphaned. So, moving forward, after that I joined AHEPA. I says, this might be something that's right up my alley. So I decided to do a little research on AHEPA as I was joining. And I'll tell you exactly why I joined. Because in 1922, when the Greeks and the Hellenes were coming to this country, as I said, my family's from Cyprus, it's a Hellenic country, they were frowned upon. They were just looked at like second-class citizens. And people don't like change. People are afraid of progress. Our biggest enemy in 1922, believe it or not, was the Ku Klux Klan. People think the Ku Klux Klan, they only didn't like black people or Jewish people. They hated anything that represented change. So when the Greeks came here, they couldn't speak a word of English. But what happens? They enrolled in universities. They became doctors, physicists, scientists. They became dishwashers in restaurants. And within 3 to 5 years, they owned the diner. They owned the restaurant. There was a lot of progression, and they were frowned upon. So they formed this organization, American Hellenic, and it's America first. We helped the Hellenes when they came to this country. We got them jobs. If they needed a doctor, what neighborhood to live in. Just like when the Italians moved here or any other ethnic group moved here, it was all kind of different neighborhoods. So we helped each other. Now I'm going to fast forward a lot of years. Today, the Greeks, they are not flocking to America anymore. But we need to preserve Hellenism. I'm going to give you one example. On that dreadful day of 9/11, only one house of worship was destroyed. So a few years later, we wanted to rebuild, and we were told, nah, Edelman Domain, you are not going to get that property back. We need it, we're taking it, and that's all there is to it. Well, bunch of AHEPans got together. They took a full-page ad in the New York Times for $60,000 out of our own pockets. And next thing you know it, we have this beautiful church. They gave us another piece of property, and we built we built a beautiful church just a few blocks away. And recently, we just opened a brand new AHEPA chapter right there called the Freedom Chapter, rightfully named, and it's growing by leaps and bounds already in just a short time.
Let me interject there, because what the Greek community did by building the St. Nicholas Shrine, which is actually, it's a shrine for everybody, and it's
Yes.
a testament also to the 9/11.
Absolutely.
It's an amazing church. When you go into the church, it's actually a shrine, so it's, let me just say that it's open to everybody. No one should feel as if they're not invited. It's for everybody, because it also is a shrine to what happened at 9/11. And when you go into the church, they have icons, and the iconography on the wall shows the police officers, the burning towers. It basically is a history.
New York City, yeah. It's as though the Lord, the Virgin Mary, is looking down on us, protecting us, because they are our Savior. They are.
All right, so it gets thousands, if not tens of thousands of visitors, and maybe even 1 million a year because of its location. It's right
Yes.
at the base of the World Trade Center where it fell on, and basically right in that area, right next to the memorial.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of AHEPA for stepping up with other Greeks and non-Greeks, making sure that it just wasn't taken away from us, because the original St. Nicholas Church was there.
It was there for a very long time.
And I believe the structure was $100 million worth of donations, and it's a testament. I'm so proud of it. It's a testament to the Greeks being able to say, you know what, we're going to get this done, and to build a shrine for all of America to remember, to pray in.
There is no other one. There is no other shrine down there.
It's very unique.
It took a while to build, but finally it's completed. And but it was a big fight to get that property.
And you know what? AHEPA played a major part in it.
Absolutely.
So that's part of what we need to do. We need to be organized, not only to accomplish great things, but also to protect ourselves, and be involved in things, to be aware, and to be able to have mediums in order to communicate and to organize.
Yeah.
All right. So now I want to say you opened up 2 chapters since you were the governor.
Yeah.
There's 27 chapters, but you opened up the Freedom Chapter down in Lower Manhattan.
Yes.
All right, and then you also organized
Southampton,
which is major.
That's a big thing. They're uncharted waters. These 2 chapters, they are literally uncharted waters.
Yeah.
And we do so much. We had a meeting out in the Hamptons the other day, and we were sitting down with the priest and Father Constantine, and we're saying, well, because one of the things we do is, and before I became governor, I was chairman of the Civic Responsibility. So what is our civic responsibility? It's not only Hellenism. If there's fires in Greece, yeah, we help them out. But if there's fires in California, we help them out. We have the service dogs for veterans who come back with psychological problems, and my chapter alone donated 4 service dogs. They started at $15,000 each.
Let me interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
We also, I believe, we helped when the earthquake happened in Turkey.
Now so we were on a pilgrimage to the Holy Land. Then we went to Turkey, to Constantinople, where the patriarch is. But just by coincidence, a few days before, they had a major earthquake in Turkey. Major. It was 800 miles away or 700 miles away from where we were. And it's funny because with Turkey, there's always been conflicts with Greece and Cyprus with Turkey. Remember, 1974, they invaded Turkey. They invaded Cyprus, and they still illegally possess 38% of the island. Who were the first 2 countries to go help? Greece and Cyprus. That's what we do. That's our civic responsibility, to help people, no matter who they are.
Can I just mention, because I don't want to focus on negative thoughts.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that you are, but like we're so blessed with leaders in our community, which you are one of.
Thank you.
But I remember having this conversation with Philip Christopher, who's also a Cyprian.
Yes.
And he said to me, Gregory, you got to understand that when a Cyprian Greek and a Turkish Greek need a transplant,
yeah,
they find each other because they're the same people. They're divided by ideology and politics.
Politics could kill us.
I mean, it's like in order to find your match for kidneys, for anything, the Greek Cypriot and the Turkish Cypriot is identical in many ways. Now, some people might take offense to that, this, that. But you know what? I believe that's the truth. All right, so you know what, I want to focus on the harmony, but I also have to say that Cyprus has been occupied now for 52 years.
Yeah.
And 52, if I'm not mistaken?
1974.
All right.
July will be, July.
So you know what, no one's really,
anniversary.
very few individuals have stepped up and did something about it. And one of the things that the lobby is, that the Hellenic Caucus does, is it does lobby for Cyprian rights, and there's some progress still being made and fought for. The hope is love and harmony. All right, so let's do what we can in order to do what we can.
Look, it's a difficult thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how political I want to get with this. We all know what happened in this country with the American Indians, Native Americans, whatever. There's different ways of saying it. But what do you do now? You just
We're not giving up. I think the Greek community is very vocal on this, and AHEPA is very vocal on this as well. Now, I'm going to go on to the national site. Excuse me a second. All right. I'm going to go on to the national site just to introduce their website. Okay, and let's talk about quickly the. Actually, before we even go there, I want to say that AHEPA is a family. It's not just men, but they also
have 4 orders.
4 orders.
There are 4 orders.
Right.
We have AHEPA. We have our sister company, the Daughters of Penelope. We have the Sons of Pericles, which is like a junior order, and we have the Maids of Athena.
All right. So each of them serves a purpose. You have the Sons of Pericles, which is younger gentlemen.
Yes.
And you know what? My son is now going to join. And now that he's 14, he has the ability to join. And there are so many successful Greeks and non-Greeks out there that are willing to mentor and give access.
Absolutely. We help each other.
And scholarships.
Oh, we give out plenty of scholarships, yeah.
Right, and you know what? I speak to individuals who are Greek, and they're like, AHEPA, what do I need that for? Or, and it's like, it's such a window of opportunity, such a window of protection. And you know what? I really advise everyone to find a local chapter and for this and the children to be part of the Sons. Now, the Daughters of Penelope, that's basically the female branch of AHEPA.
Yeah.
And then we have the Maids of Athena, who are doing amazing things also.
Which is the younger. They're equal in age to the Sons of Pericles.
Okay. All right.
And they all do great things.
So if you go on to the AHEPA website, basically founded in 1922 in Atlanta, Georgia, on the principles of helping in the fight for civil rights against discrimination, bigotry, and hatred felt at the hands of the Ku Klux Klan. AHEPA is the largest and oldest grassroots organization of American citizens of Greek heritage and Phil-Hellenes with more than 400 chapters across the United States, Canada, and Europe. What's our mission? To promote the ancient Hellenic ideas of education, philanthropy, civic responsibility, family, and individual excellence through community service and volunteerism. I think those are amazing goals. Now, let's go to the top 4 issues that AHEPA has on their websites right now, and then we're going to go on to the District 6 sites, and we could talk about some of the amazing things that are done there as well.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So, celebrating the 250th birthday with AHEPA. So, 250 years is the American.
America is going to be celebrating 250 years this coming July. So, as it should be appropriate, we are having our national convention, our Supreme Convention, as we call it, in Philadelphia. It's the last week in July. We're looking so forward to it. There's a lot of history. I was just there for a conference a couple of weeks ago, and it's just very exciting. I mean, I was talking with the local chapter there, and they're so welcoming It's going to be unbelievable. Happy birthday, America! 250 years old,
and it's also 205 years since the Greek.
Yes, we had a flag raising all over the country. We've had the Greek flag raising because the 205 years of independence of Greek heritage, democracy, where it was born. I gave a little speech, as did so many, and we talked about that democracy started in Greece. And we're trying so hard to preserve it.
Now that's also a parallel because a lot of people don't know that even in the first war that America was involved with the Barbary pirates attacking ships.
Yeah.
When they sing from the halls of Montezuma to the halls of Tripoli, I believe that's.
Yeah.
Tripoli was one of the first battles that the Americans were engaged with on foreign land, and basically it was Greek mercenaries that fought on the side of the Marines in order to bring the first victory for American battles overseas. And also we kind of were discriminated against, but we also, it was hard to discriminate against us because what the founding fathers loved Greece. I believe they even were voting to make Greek the official language. Not that it won, but the early founding fathers in the American tradition spoke Latin, and many of them also spoke Greek. And much of our society today, our architecture, our Western thought, is based on Greek principles.
Absolutely. It started with the Parthenon.
Yeah, you look at all of the architecture, you go to D.C., and you're going to see that they copied much. They wanted to rebuild ancient Greece.
Listen, in Manhattan, it's all Greek columns, the Greek key.
Yeah, just say
they're on everywhere. They're on towels.
So that's the first thing. Now, we also touched upon the advocacy for Cyprus. All right. Now, there's a lot going on in Cyprus right now. Okay, and let's talk about two more international levels, and then we'll bring it down to the state level.
Okay.
Now, in terms of one of the thing that the caucus is, and I went to the caucus event last year.
Okay.
We filled up the hall with congressmen, with senators.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that one of the largest caucuses in our Congress is the Hellenic or the Greek caucus.
Yes.
It's kind of amazing that nothing really has anything that they can say, I don't want to be part of the Greek caucus. So I was amazed at the event that they had. But one thing that we are fighting for is in order for the F-35 jets and other high-level technology not to get into Turkey's hands, because we've seen that they did abuse it in the past.
It's a big problem.
All right, and so that's one of the things that we do lobby against. All right, because Turkey could be a wild card in that region of the world. All right. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm Turkey bashing, but Greece has one of the best air forces in the world, and that might not be the largest, right, but I do have family in the Greek Air Force, and so and one of the foundations that AHEPA does is that sometimes when there are skirmishes, because the Turkish jets fly over the Aegean airspace that Greece has and some of their islands,
and they fly right over Cyprus like they own the place.
Right. So that's something that we could bring light to, and we do bring light to. But sometimes we do lose pilots. Everyone is hush about it because they don't want to expand it. To focus on expands. But the point is that AHEPA does have a foundation set aside to help the family of the pilots.
Yeah, we do that. So there's, if I'm not mistaken, it's $35,000 for a Greek pilot who gets killed in the line of duty, whether it's war, whether it's practice, whether it's another country who doesn't really want to attack but attacks their airspace or their wings, to say the air beneath their wings that can make them crash, and these are the things that we do.
All right. So that's one of thousands. So you know what? Yeah. We're going to bring on the people from the Sons. We're going to bring people to talk about all these things in more detail.
Definitely, yes.
All right, but I do want to talk about the fourth thing that's on their website here, which is the 3 + 3 + 1.
Yes, the 3 + 1.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Greece, Israel, Cyprus, plus America.
Right.
It's an alliance. We're working together to protect each other. And someone's always throwing a monkey wrench in the mix, always, and it's usually Turkey. They have their eyes, I know they have their eyes on the rest of Cyprus, and we need America. America's the only one that could really protect Cyprus and Greece, because I don't think anyone really wants them. And as far as Israel goes, I mean, they are a tiny little speck in the Middle East. I was looking on the map. I couldn't believe how small they are in the entire Middle East.
All right. I mean, we just recently had an incident where now people don't know that Cyprus was a British colony.
Yes.
And in order to gain independence, they had to give up 2 sovereign territories on the island of Cyprus
To British.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's 2 British bases there. Right, not
Yes.
it's part of Cyprus, but it's not part of Cyprus. And recently we did have, because Iran is now lobbying bombs into Cyprus.
Yeah, they hit their 2 naval bases.
Right, and sometimes some of those lob into neighborhoods of Cyprians who really have no control over what's going on the island over there. So this is an issue. We're in very turbulent times, but Greece has, from the inception of time in American history, been an ally, and it continually, World War I, World War II, it's always been a fierce fighter alongside America. I mean, a lot of people don't know that Greece lost 10% of its population during World War II. Most large countries like France, I believe, fell very quickly. Greece lasted 256 days. They had a strong partisan movement. I'm sure your family, my family, fought in North Africa against Romuald. We've always been staunch allies because we are ideologically connected to the birth of America.
Yeah.
And that's something that's very important to understand. Now, give us a little bit more of an update on your thoughts, and then I'm going to go over to the District 6 site so we can learn more about District 6.
I do want to say, it's funny you say British, because I collect things. When my parents first came here from Cyprus, they have, I collect old documents, and I still have their original passports. And they're British. They are British passports, and it's really weird to see it. I like the history of it. They came here. I still have my mother's notebook on her test to become an American citizen. And under God, in 1948, when she took the test, was not in the Pledge of Allegiance. It's amazing how we are evolving, but we're keeping the history.
So these are the gentlemen that actually founded AHEPA. And they found it because, again, the KKK was burning crosses on our lawns also.
Yes.
All right, so I don't want to, focus on the negative, but they organized back then, and they helped a lot of immigrants. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But we still can be organized and do good for our community and for America.
We do a lot of civic. We do have so many food pantries, clothing drives. We have AHEPA housing for low income.
Which is, a lot of people don't know the amount of affordable housing that AHEPA has built. I'm going to plug my uncle here, who is part of the reason why I joined AHEPA.
Oh, wow.
That's from the 1930s. So, here he has full tassel, full hats and everything.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why I knew about and joined AHEPA. All right, and they've done a lot of great things. But let's hop on over to the District 6 website.
Okay.
All right, and I don't want to go too much into time. I'm trying to keep this half an hour, 45 minutes. But this is the website for District 6. You are in charge of
New York
of this.
State.
All right, and you can see that we have chapters throughout the state. All right, and they have a list of all the chapters. So if you live anywhere in New York State and outside, but these are the chapters inside, you could go on to the website AHEPAD6.com, and you could join any of these chapters. All right, now let's go to the site because it'll help.
You're going to find something geographically where you live.
Right, and let's go to events. Actually, let's go to the main page before we go to. Let's go back to home. All right, now everyone can search these sites also. All right, this is home. Now let's see what you chose to emphasize so that we can emphasize them here. All right, but you've got 2 events. Hellenic American Heritage Day in honor of Greek independence. Now we have the Greek Independence Day coming. There are this year's parade and this year's organization through Ilias Katsos and that whole crew as the chairman.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at what they've done. amazed, meaning that every Thursday they have educational opportunities.
They have the meetings every week.
They have their meetings. They have the parade. They have a massive banquet. So they've incorporated education and networking. They have a boat ride. They have a boat ride circling
Manhattan Island.
Of Liberty.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Amazing things. It's like they have plays. They have singers coming. They've done so much.
The F zones are coming.
The F zones are coming. So we do have a Greek parade that we should plug right now.
Yeah.
All right, and that's on the 25th, I believe.
Yeah.
25th. All right, and we could talk about that for hours. But there's another parade, which is the Memorial Day parade, and this year, tell us about that. That's coming up, right?
That's coming up. It's actually Monday of Memorial Day. It is the 99th anniversary of that parade. It is the second largest Memorial Day parade in America, and we started getting involved in it 2 years ago, and this is our third year. In all these years, we're the only ones that had a float, and this year we are blessed. We are honored that we have Tom Dennis, an AHEPA from Westchester County, and he's going to be the Grand Marshal. We've never had a Greek Grand Marshal, and we're so excited. We're going to be giving out American flags. We're going to have the float. We're going to have a marching band from Aviation High School. It's going to be great. It's going to. I mean, I was told now the Supreme President is coming. And the Supreme President, just to give you an idea, he travels all over the world.
Yeah.
He's the highest ranking AHEPA let's say on the globe, and he's coming.
Right. Okay, so the other event that you highlighted was the convention coming up. So everyone who is in AHEPA or part of the brother and sister organizations, that's going to happen June 12th to the 14th.
12th and 13th. Friday the 12th and Saturday the 13th.
And then I believe on the 14th they're going to go to church.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, and that's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn. And again, the information is on the website.
It's on the website. Every chapter can bring up to 6 delegates.
Okay, and I do want to say that this is a networking thing for business opportunities also.
Absolutely.
Meaning AHEPA. So if we're strong and we work together, right?
Yeah.
And we have something in our pocket, we could do good for the community as well. So you see here that we do have some advertising opportunities.
You can advertise,
on our website.
yes.
Okay, so let's just go down. I don't want to take up too much time because I'm going to try to keep this within the half hours.
Sure.
But the website does have the chapters. It does have the district programs. It talks about the multiple scholarships on a district level. I believe we raised over $250,000 in the perpetual fund.
Yeah, we had a fundraiser. Jimmy Kokodots, he's the Supreme President. They wanted to give him a testimonial dinner. He says, "No, I don't want it." He says, "I don't want it. I don't want it." We wore him down. He says, "All right, as long as the proceeds to the Journal goes to the AHEPA Scholarship Fund." All right, $250,000 they raised. He wanted to raise $40,000. Raised $250,000.
There's so much opportunity for our children in order to get scholarship funds.
Yes,
and nobody knows about it. I mean,
they don't know about it.
I don't want to sound negative towards the people that promote it, but I'm shocked. Like one individual, someone passed away recently, and they gave $17.5 million.
$17.6 million. Then she gave another $3 million. That's for the national.
Right.
It was, it took a year or so to do the bylaws. She was very specific. She liked biology. She liked medicine, research.
Yeah. Okay, so I know that on our site we have a scholarship link.
Yes,
okay.
and so
okay, we talked about the parades.
Yeah.
All right. We talked about. We're definitely going to talk about the Hellenic History Tournament in detail.
Yes, in detail.
Right, that's going to be episode number 2.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, but that was an amazing event. And then again, you emphasize on our district level the AHEPA service dogs for the Warriors. Okay, I want to go to the events. All right, because part of what I want to do also, as I said in the goals in the beginning, is I want to promote the local events on this podcast.
Yeah. Can I say something about the scholarship?
Of course you can.
So, in order to get a scholarship, you don't have to technically be a member of AHEPA. You could be the child of an AHEPan, all right? So you have a son, right? He's 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
He will be able to apply. In my case, I've got grandchildren. I have a 17-year-old grandchild whose grandfather, which is me, is a member of AHEPA, and he's going to apply. So you could be a grandchild. You could be a great-grandchild.
I mean, part of the goal of the Hellenic culture has always been to educate ourselves.
Education, American Hellenic education.
Every time an immigrant community came, what did? They built a church and they built a school.
Right away, the church. It's unbelievable, the church. Religion is big in my house. Oh, my God.
One of the things also that I'm shocked about is that the first Greeks that came here came as indentured servants.
Yes.
In New Smyrna in Florida. This is history many people don't know. There's so much history. The libraries are full of information. The question is who's going to pick up the book and read them and be focused on finding their own reality.
You know what? Well, you need is a little
not the reality of what someone's trying to teach us.
Yeah.
All right? And you know what? That comes also, I mean, you look at an ethnos, for 400 years we were subjects and slaves of the Ottoman Empire.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and people don't understand that.
We were slaves too.
No, but where I want to go with that is that we even had an underground school system. And you know what? I was in Russia, and I met Pontian Greeks in the south of Russia. And there was a Greek family there. And, you know, the poem that my mother would teach us is, oh, my
God, I haven't heard that in a while, yeah.
Which is basically, Figaraki, moon, 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 shine bright, so that I can go to school at night, to the secret schools that the Greeks had in order to keep the language alive. Namathud, to basically learn letters and God's things.
Yeah.
So even though for 400 years, and you figure, you know, Greece has been around, fine, we praise Greece, you know, in the Hellenic period, right? But for 400 years, it was our priests and our underground schools that helped to keep the language alive. This is the spirit that is in us that we need to perpetuate.
Yes.
You know, and education is part of it, and you have people who are funding scholarships. And we have families who are of Hellenic descent that don't even know about it because, you know what, it hasn't been brought to them or they haven't spent the time in order to educate themselves on the options out there. So that's part of my goal right here, right now. So we're going to try to wrap this up with two things. I want to just talk about the events that our great chapters are having in the next 30, 45 days that you posted.
Okay.
All right. Now, Port Jefferson is a beautiful community. I love going out to their events.
They're great. They reactivated that chapter about 5 years ago. And they're blossoming. They really are.
All right. Now they're going to have a bingo night and a Texan Hold'em. So it's more of a social event. The Brooklyn chapter, 41 Spring Awakening, April 24th. They're going to go to a restaurant. They're going to break bread together.
Yes.
All right, and that's after Easter and after the fast also. All right. And then we have the Syracuse chapter that's also having the banquet May 16th. All right, all this information is on the site, and then we have a golf outing on June 10th. Those are the events that you're emphasizing in addition to the convention.
And they're all fundraisers. They're all fundraisers. You know, the money doesn't go in our pockets and we keep it.
Yeah.
We disperse it through mostly civic responsibility.
And we are a 501c3 organization. Yes. Or, you know what, maybe I might be wrong about the designation, but we are a not-for-profit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap it up with you talking about, I mean, I'm amazed at the authors we have in our community. Yeah. And your specific topic, because you are of Cyprian descent, you were engaged in it. You've written books.
I wrote a book. I wrote 3 books in my retirement. It's something I've always had a love of doing, was just jotting things down and writing. So I decided, I wrote a book, Escaping Cyprus, in 2015. It was out there. It actually won one contest, Book of the Year. Then I wrote a second book, and I have them right here. Escaping Cyprus 2, the final chapter. This is basically, that's my third book. Hang on. Escaping Cyprus 2, the final chapter. If you notice, this is the occupied section. All this is the occupied. And this is blood. This is blood dripping. And I'm going to get up, and I'm going to show you the sign here. And this is, you see the blood dripping from 38% of the island. That's the illegally occupied. And I'm going to emphasize the word illegally. So then I wanted to have a little bit of fun. This is pure fiction. It's great. The idea of what happens if someone from escaping Cyprus's mother, who had lived through so many atrocities, real atrocities, and what happens if he becomes president of the United States?
Okay.
Okay, yeah. And then I said, let me have a little fun. I'm a Bronx boy. I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up in Throgs Neck. This is a good old-fashioned gangster book. And it's the love of writing that I've always had. I enjoy jotting things down. I was a Sunday school teacher, and let me touch base on this real quick. I had the idea. I spoke to my two directors. I'm going to mention their names, Fran Andreatis and Christina Lassi. I have an idea of making Sunday school real by taking it out of the classroom. So I had the idea of Matthew 25:35. I was hungry, you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. I was without home, and you took me in. So what do? We took in the homeless in our church.
Wow.
And we fed them, and the kids fed them. These are high school kids. And after the first time we did it, because we did it a few times, it's like one of the girls made me cry. She said, like, can we do it again? And that was one of the most rewarding thing. And since then, we've gone to the monastery. We made it real by taking it out of the classroom, to the point where Father Eugene Pappas in Brooklyn heard about us. We were on his show. We were talking about what we do. We talked about challenging things in the Bible. And yeah, I just made it interesting. And that's something, even though I'm a past parish council president, I want to be remembered as a Sunday school teacher, because that, to me, that was my final thing that I did.
All right, so I do want to say, since you did bring up real estate,
yeah,
I want to thank my partners at Keller Williams Realty.
Okay, yeah, absolutely,
Right.
yeah.
We are in the Bronx office at Keller Williams.
Okay, so thank God. So I need to read that.
No, it's okay. It's all good. You don't have to say anything.
I'm happy to be here, Gregory, with your real estate company and all your partners over here. You open your home to us, and I'm very thankful for it. If there's anything AHEPA can do, any civic responsibility, if you have a food pantry or something like that, this is what we're here for.
We actually do. We
don't only help Greeks.
We raise money for POTS, which is part of the solution, but there's we do a lot of civic activity, but one of the fundraisers we have is POTS, and maybe we could do something with AHEPA and also POTS. In fact, the broker that put this whole thing together, Stephen Paternak,
thank you.
He's very associated with POTS, and there's other organizations that, part of what we do, because we have an office in the Bronx and also in Scarsdale, is we definitely raise money and do things, which maybe we could do things with AHEPA in the future.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're at maybe 40 minutes now.
That's fine.
I think we covered a lot. There's a lot more to cover. I thank you for coming.
I'm honored to be here.
And the hope is that now that we have these podcasts, we have so much to talk about, so much information to disseminate, so much to share.
Anything you need, if we're gonna bring the daughters of Penelope here, the sons of Pericles, the maids of Athena, just let me know. I can set it up for you.
And what the hope is that we'll put it on YouTube, and we could disseminate it to all the presidents of the chapters, and they could disseminate it to their. How many members do you think we have on a statewide level?
Here we finished the year about 1,500.
Okay,
and it grew a little from last year. And that's what we're looking to do.
Okay,
with the 2 chapters. Yeah. And we can open chapters. If there's anyone out there who's saying, you know what, I want to join a chapter, but it's a little far for me, just get in touch with us. And we can help you open a chapter.
And everything from, I want to donate to the scholarship fund, I want to go to an event, I want to learn more about the senior housing that we develop throughout the country.
It's all on the website. And I can give you my phone number.
If you want
no problem. Yeah, absolutely. 917-209-2380. 917-209-2380. That's my cell phone. You want to open a chapter, you want to learn about AHEPA, you want to find the chapter in your neighborhood, just give me a holler.
Okay, so it's great. I think that concludes episode number 1 of District 6 podcast.
Can I say something off the record?
Of course you can.
Maybe we now have an 800 number.
Okay.
So if I can, on the website is the 800 number, and just follow the prompts. And if you want to leave a message for me, the district governor, press the appropriate number, and it'll come to me.
Okay, and I apologize if I left out any of the amazing things that are happening in the Greek community through AHEPA.
We would be here with old age.
Yeah, right. So it just shows you the spirit of the continuation of Hellenism and the ideas that we're perpetuating. And let's think of ways to do good, and let's think of ways to be united. And till the next episode of podcast District 6.
District 6, AHEPA. Yes.
All right. And
thank you.
And thank you for coming in today. It was a pleasure. And thank you for your service
all
to
mine.
the community.
Thank you.
All right,
thank you.
All right.
AHEPA Next Gen is where gentlemen ages 30 to 45 come together. High-quality events, real mentorship, friendships that open doors. But it reaches further into service, education, and local impact. It's a pathway to leadership and a chance to represent Hellenic values with purpose. Build strong connections, give back in meaningful ways. The right circle, the right mission. Built on heritage, focused on the future. Become part of AHEPA Next Gen.
Unlike you and most of you, I was not born in the United States to live and enjoy democracy. I came to the United States from Turkey, where I was a third-category citizen. So when Martin Luther King Jr. had his walk to the courthouse of Selma, Alabama, I decided to join him. So I said, this is my time to take revenge against all those who oppress people. Upon my return, someone called me Prodoti, traitor. Somehow that I should be ashamed of what I have done. Some that I am not an American. Some that I'm not a Christian. I know that civil rights and human rights continue to be the most thorny social issues in our nation. But I will stand for both rights, civil and human, for as long as I live. I feel it a Christian duty and the duty of a man who was born as a slave.